विष्णुपाद परिवाराचार्य अष्टाश्रोता नित्यलीला प्रवेश भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडराचार्य His Holy Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय।
Radhadesh Krishna, Krishna. Everything's falling apart today. All right. Hare Krishna. Oh, there's sound next door also. What is this? Hare Krishna. Close. Oh, okay. Krishna, 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 Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare. Krishna, 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 Hare. Krishna, 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 Rakshama.
Krishna, 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 Rakshama. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshama. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Reading, okay.
You start to refer to the sixth sentence.
On hearing this, Yashoda would say, "All right, I will take all the jewels for Krishna so that he cannot see the butter hidden in the darkness." Then the gopis would say, "No, no, don't do this. What good will you do by taking away the jewels? We do not know what kind of boys these are. But even without ornaments, they spread some kind of effulgence so that even in darkness they can see everything." Then Mother Yashoda would inform them, "All right, keep your butter and yogurt carefully so that they may not reach it." In reply to this, the gopis said, "Yes, actually, we do so, but because we are sometimes engaged in our household duties, these naughty boys enter our house somehow or other and spoil everything. Sometimes, being unable to steal our butter and yogurt out of anger, they pass urine on the clean floor and sometimes spit on it. Now, just see how your boy is hearing these complaints. All day he simply makes arrangements to steal our butter and yogurt. And now he is sitting just like a very silent good boy. Just see his face." When Mother Yashoda thought to chastise her boy after hearing all the complaints, she saw his pitiable face, and smiling, she did not chastise him. Another day, when Krishna and Balarama were playing with their friends, all the boys joined Balarama and complained to Mother Yashoda that Krishna had eaten clay. On hearing this, Mother Yashoda caught hold on Krishna's hand and said, "My dear Krishna, why have you eaten earth in solitary place? Just see, all your friends, including Balarama, are complaining about you." Being afraid of his mother, Krishna replied, "My dear mother, all these boys, including my elder brother Balarama, are speaking lies against me. I had never eaten any clay. My elder brother Balarama, while playing with me today, became angry, and therefore he has joined with the other boys to complain against me. They have all combined together to complain, so you will be angry and chastise me. If you think they are truthful, then you can look within my mouth to see wherever I have eaten clay or not." His mother replied, "All right, if you have actually not eaten any clay, then just open your mouth. I shall see." When the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna was so ordered by his mother, he immediately opened his mouth just like an ordinary boy. Then Mother Yashoda saw within that mouth the complete opulence of creation. She saw the entire other space in all directions, mountains, islands, oceans, seas, planets, air, fire, moon, and stars. Along with the moon and the stars, she also saw all the elements water, sky, and the extensive ethereal existence, along with the total ego and its products, namely the sense, the controller of the senses, all the demigods, and the object of the senses like sound and smell. Within his mouth, she also saw the three qualities of material nature, all living entities, eternal time, material nature, spiritual nature, activity, consciousness, and different forms of the whole creation. Yashoda could find within the mouth of her child everything necessary for cosmic manifestation. She also saw within his mouth herself taking Krishna on her lap and having him suck her breast. Upon seeing all this, she became struck with awe and began to wonder whether she were dreaming or actually seeing something extraordinary. She concluded that she was either dreaming or seeing the play of the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. She thought that she had become made, mentally deranged, to see all these wonderful things. Then she thought, it may be cosmic mystic power attained by my child, and therefore I am perplexed by such visions within his mouth.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond the expression of consciousness, mind, work, and philosophical speculation, and to whose different energies produce everything manifest and unmanifest. Under his energy, bodily self and bodily possessions are convinced. She then said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him under whose illusionary energy. I am thinking that Nanda Maharaj is my husband and Krishna is my son, that all the properties of Nanda Maharaja belong to me, and that all the cowherd men and women are my subjects. All this misconception is due to the illusionary energy of the Supreme Lord. So let me pray to him that he may protect me always. While Mother Yashoda was thinking in this high philosophical way, Lord Krishna again expanded his internal energy just to wage her wish material affection. Immediately maternal affection. Immediately Mother Yashoda forgot all philosophical speculation and accepted Krishna as her own child. She took him on her lap and became overwhelmed with maternal affection. She thus began to think of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is understood through the process of cultivating knowledge derived from all the Upanishad and the Vedanta Sutra, practicing mystic yoga and studying Sankhya philosophy, and her own begotten child. Certainly, Mother Yashoda had executed many pious activities, as a result of which she got the Absolute True, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as her son, who sucked milk from her breast. Similarly, Nanda Maharaj also must have performed many great sacrifices and pious activities for the Lord Krishna to become his son and address him as father. But it is surprising that Vasudeva and Devaki did not enjoy the transcendental bliss of Krishna's childhood pastimes, although Krishna was their real son. The childhood pastimes of Krishna are glorified even today by many sages and saintly persons, but Vasudeva and Devaki could not enjoy such childhood pastimes personally. The reason for this was explained by Sukadeva Goswami to Maharaja Parikshit as follows.
When the best of the Vasus named Drona and his wife Dhara were ordered to increase progeny by Lord Brahma, they said unto him, Dear father, we are seeking your benediction. When we take birth again within the universe, may the Supreme Lord Krishna in his most attractive feature of childhood absorb our whole attention. May our dealing with him be so powerful that simply by hearing of these childhood activity of his, anyone will very easily cross over the nescence of birth and death. Lord Brahma agreed to give them the benediction, and as a result, the same Drona appeared as Nand Maharaj in Vrindavan, and the same Dhara appeared as Mother Yashoda, the wife of Nand Maharaj. In this way, Nand Maharaj and his wife, Mother Yashoda, developed their unalloyed devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having gotten him as their son. And all the gopis and cowherd men who were associates of Krishna naturally developed their own different feelings of love for Krishna. Therefore, just to fulfill the benediction of Lord Brahma, Lord Krishna appeared along with his plenary expansion, Balaram, and performed all kinds of childhood pastimes in order to increase the transcendental pleasure of all the residents of Vrindavan. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 8th chapter of Krishna, Vision of the Universal Form.
Chapter 9. Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna. Once upon a time, seeing that her maidservant was engaged in different household duties, Mother Yashoda personally took charge of churning butter. And while she churned butter, she sung the childhood pastimes of Krishna and enjoyed thinking of her son. The end of her sari was tightly wrapped while she churned, and on account of her intense love for her son, milk automatically dripped from her breasts, which moved as she labored very hard, churning with 2 hands. The bangles and bracelets on her hands tingled as they touched each other, and her earrings and breasts shook. There were drops of perspiration on her face, and the flower garlands which was on her head scattered here and there. Before this picturesque sight, Lord Krishna appeared as a child. He felt hungry, and to increase his mother's love, he wanted her to stop churning. He indicated that her first business was to let him suck her breast, and then she could churn butter later. Mother Yashoda took her son on her lap and pushed the nipple of her breast into his mouth. And while Krishna was sucking the milk, she was smiling, enjoying the beauty of her child's face. And suddenly the milk, which was on the stove, began to boil over. Just to stop the milk from boiling, Mother Yashoda at once put Krishna aside and went to the stove. Left in that state by his mother, Krishna became very angry, and his lips and eyes became red in rage. He pressed his teeth and lips, and taking up a piece of stone, he immediately broke the butter pot. He took the butter out of it, and with false tears in his eyes, he began to eat the butter in a secluded place.
In the meantime, Mother Yashoda returned to the churning place after setting the overflowing milk pan in order. She saw the broken pot in which the churning yogurt had been kept. Since she could not find her boy, she concluded the broken pot was his work. She smiled as she thought, "That child is very clever. After breaking the pot, he has left this place, fearing punishment." After she sought all over, she found her son sitting on a big wooden grinding mortar, which she kept upside down. He was taking butter from the pot, which was hanging from the ceiling on a swing, and he was feeding it to the monkeys. She saw Krishna looking this way and that way, in fear of her, because he was conscious of his naughty behavior. After seeing her son so engaged, she very silently approached him from behind. Krishna, however, saw her coming toward him with a stick in her hand, and he immediately got down from the grinding mortar and began to flee in fear. Mother Yashoda chased him to all corners, trying to capture the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is never approached even by the meditations of great yogis. In other words, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who was never caught by the yogis and speculators, was playing just like a little child for such a great devotee and as Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, however, could not easily catch the fast-running child because of her thin waist and heavy body. Still, she tried to follow him as fast as possible. Her hair loosened and the flowers in her hair fell to the ground. Although she was tired, she somehow reached her naughty child and captured him. When he was caught, Krishna was almost on the point of crying. He smeared his hands over his eyes, which were anointed with black eye cosmetics. The child saw his mother's face while she stood over him, and his eyes became restless from fear. Mother Yashoda could understand that Krishna was unnecessarily afraid. For his benefit, she wanted to allay his fears. Being the topmost well-wisher of her child, Mother Yashoda thought, "If the child is too fearful of me, I don't know what will happen to him." Mother Yashoda then threw away her stick. In order to punish him, she thought to bind his hands with some ropes. She did not know it, but it was actually impossible for her to bind the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda was thinking that Krishna was her tiny child. She did not know that the child had no limitation. There was no inside or outside of him, nor beginning or end. He was unlimited and all-pervading. Indeed, he is himself the whole cosmic manifestation. Still, Mother Yashoda was thinking of Krishna as a child. Although he is beyond the reach of all senses, she endeavored to bind him to a wooden grinding mortar. But when she tried to bind him, she found that the rope she was using was too short by 2 inches. She gathered more ropes from the house and added to it, but still she found the same shortage. In this way she connected all the ropes available at home, but when the final knot was added, she saw that the rope was still 2 inches too short. Mother Yashoda was smiling, but she was astonished. How was this happening?
In attempt to bind her son, she became tired. She was perspiring, and the garland on her head fell down. Then Lord Krishna appreciated the hard labor of his mother and being compassionate upon her, he agreed to be bound up by the ropes. Krishna, playing as a human child in the house of Mother Yashoda, was performing his own selected pastimes. Of course, no one can control the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The pure devotee surrenders himself unto the lotus feet of the Lord, who may either protect or vanquish the devotee. But for his part, the devotee never forgets his own position of surrender. Similarly, the Lord also feels transcendental pleasure by submitting himself to the protection of the devotee. This was exemplified by Krishna's surrender unto his mother Yashoda. Krishna is the supreme bestower of all kinds of liberation to his devotees. But the benediction which was bestowed upon Mother Yashoda was never experienced even by Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva or Goddess of Fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as the son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaja, is never so completely known to the yogis and speculators, but he is easily available to his devotees. Nor is he appreciated as the supreme reservoir of all pleasure by the yogis and speculators. After binding her son, Mother Yashoda engaged herself in household affairs. At that time, bound up to the wooden mortar, Krishna could see a pair of trees before him which were known as Arjuna trees. the great reservoir of pleasure, Lord Sri Krishna thus thought to himself, Mother Yashoda first of all left without feeding me sufficient milk, and therefore I broke the pot of yogurt and distributed the stuck butter in charity to the monkeys. Now she has bound me up to a wooden mortar, so I shall do something more mischievous than before. And thus he thought of pulling down the two very tall Arjuna trees. There is history behind the pair of Arjuna trees. In their previous lives, the trees were born as the human sons of Kuvera, and their names were Nalakuvara and Manigriva. Fortunately, they came within the vision of the Lord. In their previous lives, they were cursed by the great sage Narada in order to receive the highest benediction of seeing Lord Krishna. This benediction curse was bestowed upon them because of their forgetfulness due to intoxication. This story will be narrated in the next chapter. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 9th chapter of Krishna. Mother Yashoda binds Lord Krishna.
Chapter 10. The deliverance of Nalakuvara and Manigriva. The story of cursing of Nalakuvara and Manigriva and their deliverance by Krishna under the all-blissful desire of the great sage Narada is here described. The two great demigods, Nalakuvara and Manigriva, were sons of the treasures of the demigods. Kuvera, who was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. By the grace of Lord Shiva, Kuvera's material opulence had no limit, as a rich man's sons often become addicted to wine and women. So these two sons of Kuvera were also addicted to wine and sex. Once these two demigods, desiring to enjoy, entered the garden of Lord Shiva in the province of Kailasha, on the bank of the Mandakini Ganges. Then they drank much and engaged in hearing the sweet singing of the beautiful woman who accompanied them in garden of the fragrant flowers. In intoxicated condition, the two demigods entered the water of the Ganges, which was filled with lotus flowers, and there they began to enjoy the company of the young girls, exactly as a male elephant enjoys female elephants within the water. While they were thus enjoying themselves in the water, all of a sudden Narada, the great sage, happened to pass that way. He could understand that the demigods Nalakuvara and Manigriva were too much intoxicated and could not even see that he was passing. The young girls, however, were not so much intoxicated as the demigods, and they at once became ashamed and being naked before the great sage Narada, then began to cover themselves with all haste. The two demigods, sons of Kuvera, were so much intoxicated that they could not appreciate the presence of the sage Narada, and therefore did not cover their bodies. On seeing the two demigods so degraded by intoxication, Narada desired their welfare, and therefore he exhibited his causeless mercy upon them by cursing them.
Because the great sage was compassionate upon them, he wanted to finish their false enjoyment by intoxication and association with young girls, and wanted them to see Lord Krishna face to face. He conceived of cursing them as follows. He said that the attraction of material enjoyment is due to an increase of the mode of passion. A person in the material world, when favored by the material opulences of riches, generally became addicted to three things: intoxication, sex, and gambling. Material opulent men, being puffed up with the accumulation of wealth, also became so merciless that they indulged in killing animals by opening slaughterhouses. and they think that they themselves will never die. Such foolish person, forgetting the laws of nature, become over infatuated with the body. They forget that the material body, even though very much advanced in civilization, up to the position of the demigods, will finally turn into ashes or stool. And while one is living, whatever the external condition of the body may be, within there is only stool, urine, and various kind of worms. Thus, being engaged in jealousy and violence to other bodies, materialists cannot understand the ultimate goal of life. And without knowing this goal of life, they generally glide down to a hellish condition in their next life. Such foolish persons commit all kinds of sinful activities on account of the temporary body, and they are even unable to consider whether the body actually belongs to them. Generally, it is said that the body belongs to the person who feeds it. One might therefore consider whether the body belongs to one personally or to the master to whom one renders service. The master of slaves claims full right to the bodies of the slaves because the master feeds the slaves. It may also be questioned whether the body belongs to the father, who is the seed-giving master of the body, or to the mother who develops the child's body in her womb. Foolish persons are engaged in committing all sorts of sins due to the misconception of identifying the material body with the self. But one should be intelligent enough to understand to whom the body belongs. A foolish person indulges in killing animals to maintain the body, but he does not consider whether the body belongs to him or to his father or mother or maternal grandfather. Sometimes a father gives his daughter in charity to a person with a view of getting back the daughter's child as a son. The body may also belong to a stronger man who forces it to work for him. Sometimes a slave's body is sold to a master, and from that day on the body belongs to the master. And at the end of the life, the body belongs to the fire, because the body is given to the fire and burned to ashes, or the body is thrown into the street to be eaten by the dogs and vultures.
So this is the glorious end of the body, eaten by dogs and vultures. Warm sins to. Before committing all kinds of sins to maintain the body, one should understand to whom the body belongs. Ultimately, it's concluded that the body is a product of material nature, and at the end, it's merged into material nature. And therefore the conclusion should be that the body belongs to material nature. One should not wrongly think that the body belongs to him. To maintain a false possession, why should one indulge in killing? Why should one kill innocent animals to maintain the body? When a man is infatuated with the false prestige of opulence, he does not care for any moral instructions, but indulges in wine, women, and animal killing. In such circumstances, a poverty-stricken man is often better situated, because a poor man thinks of himself in relation to other bodies. A poor man often does not wish to inflict injuries upon other bodies, because he can understand more readily that when he himself is injured, he feels pain. Therefore, the great sage Narad considered that because the demigods Nalakuvara and Manigriva were so infatuated by false prestige, they should be put into a condition of life devoid of opulence. A person who has a pinprick in his body does not wish others to be pricked by pins. A considerate man in the life of poverty does not wish others to be also put into that condition. And generally it is seen that one who has risen from a poverty-stricken life and becomes wealthy creates some charitable institution at the end of his life, so that other poverty-stricken men might be benefited. In short, a compassionate poor man may consider others' pains and pleasures with empathy. A poor man is seldom puffed up with false pride, and he may be freed from all kinds of infatuation. He may remain satisfied by whatever he gets for his maintenance by the grace of the Lord. To remain in a poverty-stricken condition is a kind of austerity. According to the Vedic culture, therefore, the Brahmanas, as a matter of routine, keep themselves in a poverty-stricken condition to save themselves from the false prestige of material opulence. False prestige due to advancement of material prosperity is a great impediment for spiritual emancipation. A poverty-stricken man cannot become unnaturally fat by eating more and more, and on account of not being able to eat more than he requires, his senses are not very turbulent. When the senses are not very turbulent, he cannot become violent. Another advantage of poverty is that a saintly person can easily enter a poor man's house, and thus the poor man can take advantage of the saintly person's association. A very opulent man does not allow anyone to enter in his house, and therefore the saintly person cannot enter. According to the Vedic system, a saintly person takes the position of a mendicant, so that at the plea of begging something from the householder, he can enter any house. The householder, who has usually forgotten everything about spiritual advancement because he is busy maintaining family affairs, can be benefited by the association of a saintly person. There is a great chance for the poor man to become liberated through association with a saint. Of what use are persons who are puffed up with material opulence and prestige if they are bereft of the association of saintly persons and devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? So, how do you answer this question? Well, what do you say? What is your answer to that?
My answer? I don't understand the question. Could you explain?
Question. Of what use are persons who are puffed up by material opulence and prestige if they are bereft of the association of saintly persons and devotees of the Supreme Person?
Well, then they should get the association of same persons.
So if you don't have that, what's the use?
Yeah, then they're lost. But the devotees are so kind that they go anyway, even when the person doesn't want it. So. True.
You have a very positive outlook on things.
Thank you. Shall we continue?
Sure.
What do you think, Ruth?
Okay.
What do you think the answer?
No, I was just curious what she would say. And also because we read it, but then many times when you read it, then somebody asks you about it, it's like, yeah, I just read it, so what did it say? Well, then there's a blank, you know? So to make us more aware of things that we actually read, sometimes I just ask questions, and this time she was a victim.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Hare Krishna. The great sage Narad thereafter thought that it was his duty to put those demigods into a condition where they could not be falsely proud of their material opulence and prestige. Narad was compassionate and wanted to save them from their fallen life. They were in the mode of darkness, and being therefore unable to control their senses, they were addicted to sex life. It was the duty of a saintly person like Narad to save them from their abominable condition. In animal life, the animal has no sense to understand that he is naked, but Kuvera is the treasure of the demigods, a very responsible man. And Nala Kuvera Managriva were two of his sons, and yet they became so animalistic and irresponsible that they could not understand due to intoxication that they were naked. To cover the lower part of the body is the principle of human civilization. And when men or women forget this principle, they become no better than animals. Narad therefore thought that the best punishment for them was to make them immovable living entities or trees. Trees are by nature's law very immovable. Although trees are covered by the mode of ignorance, they cannot do harm. The great sage Narad thought it befitting them, although the brothers would be punished to become trees, by his mercy they would continue to keep their memory, and he be able to know why they were being punished. After changing the body, a living entity generally forgets his previous life, but in special cases, by the grace of the Lord, as now the Kuvaram and Igriva, one can remember. Sage Narad therefore contemplated that the two demigods should remain for 100 years in the time of the demigods in the form of trees, and after that they would be fortunate enough to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face by his causeless mercy. And thus they would be again promoted to the life of the demigods and become great devotees of the Lord. After this, the great sage Narad returned to his abode, known as Narayan Ashram, and the two demigods turned into trees, known as twin Arjuna trees. The two demigods were favored by the causeless mercy of Narad, and given a chance to grow in Nanda's courtyard, and see Krishna face to face.
Although child Krishna was bound up the wooden mortar, he began to proceed toward the twin trees in order to fulfill the prophecy of his great devotee Narada. Lord Krishna knew that Narada was his great devotee and that the trees standing before him as twin Arjuna trees were actually the sons of Kuvera. I must now fulfill the words of my great devotee Narada, he thought. Then he proceeded through the passage between the two trees. Although he was able to pass through the passage, the large wooden mortar stuck horizontally between the trees. Taking advantage of this with great strength, Lord Krishna began to pull the rope, which was tied to the mortar. As soon as he pulled, the two trees with all their branches and limbs fell down with a great sound. Out of the broken fallen trees came two great personalities shining like blazing fire. All sides become illuminated and beautiful by their presence. The two purified personalities immediately came before child Krishna and bowed down to offer their respects and prayers in the following words. Dear Lord Krishna, you are original personality of Godhead, master of all mystic powers. Learned Brahmas know very well that this cosmic manifestation is an expansion of your potencies, which are sometimes manifest and sometimes unmanifest. You are the original provider of the life, body, and senses of all living entities. You are the eternal God, Lord Vishnu, who is all providing, the imperishable controller of everything. And you are the eternal time. You are the original source of the cosmic manifestation, which is acting under the spell of the three moods of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. You are living as the super soul in all the multiforms of living entities, and you know very well what is going on within their bodies and minds. Therefore, you are the supreme director of all activities of all living entities. But although you are in the midst of everything which is under the spell of material moods of nature, you are not affected by such contaminated qualities. No one under the jurisdiction of the material moods can understand your transcendental qualities, which existed before the creation. Therefore, you are called the Supreme Transcendence. Let us offer our respectful obeisance unto the lotus feet of you, Lord Vasudeva, the Supreme Brahman, who are always glorified by your personal internal potencies.
Thank you. That's it for today.
Yes, it's after times.
So speaking of these pastimes, we said that many different personalities are observing these pastimes. We have actually many different kind of descriptions for the same pastimes in different days, a little bit different. It was described also that even there's birds coming to sit on the fence to look at them. And I thought it was so cute. You know? And the parrot from Vrindavan was talking to a bird that came from Mathura. And then the mood is different there because it's more and more reference. So we were talking, and then this parrot said, I don't understand anything. You see everything. they were arguing, you know? It was so nice actually. Hare Krishna. So, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Son of the Krishna book. Thank you for coming. All glories to the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Happened to your hand? Split or what do you
It's a
call
little bruised and sprained. I don't know exactly. It's not broken, but
it?
it's
Yeah,
not.
because otherwise it would have
So
swallowed.
I have to wait on it all the time. Because it's difficult to make some movements. So, of course, there's some Mahaprasada.
Welcome back. How are you? Good. You're dressed for summer. Yes. It's okay. Let us turn.
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Hare
Shri Shri Radha Gopinath ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanandi. Can you smell anything? Nice smells? What does it? Does it smell like my usual smell or does it smell like dirty? Wait, listen, it's outside. No, it's this new perfume. Perfume. Black perfume. You know that? You like? You know, opium comes from poppies. I don't know. I feel it's not very strong. It's not very strong. It smells as if you put like in the wash. Yeah, not with the sugar. You always say it's so much. Oh, that's so creamy. It smells so. That's my favorite smell. Really? You guys are so. Yeah, that smells great. Cheese. What? So responsible. No, actually, mine doesn't have smells, but like that. But yeah, you know. That's good, but no, no. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I don't want to be like passed by and 5 minutes later. I want that.
What do you think about Ambi's perfume? Comment down below.